Folks, greetings to all of you. Now our time is exactly 9 o'clock, right? So we are starting our second session since we started yesterday. And I'm sorry that yesterday we did not finish up, but trust me today that we are going to finish up what we call quadratic, because by tomorrow we have to start what we call quadratic, hyperbolic function. All right, so we are finishing up what we call a parabola. Okay, but before we go there, for those that are joining us for the first time, I'm Prof. Svia. Obviously, I'm here to assist you with the grade 11 work. Then after this session, obviously you can ask any question. Here is my Twitter handle, or you can simply WhatsApp me on the number on the screen there, which is 0826727928. The section that we are dealing with are the functions, and we said functions plus or minus 35 marks. Okay. Then looking at our rules of engagement, it's obviously the first one is respect. We have to respect each other. As we know that we are here to learn, feel free to ask any question. How to ask the question, obviously you have to raise your hand and you'll be unmuted when you want to ask, and then you'll be in the position to ask your question. Please keep your cameras or your videos off. Please type your question in chat if you are obviously shy to raise your hand. We will not obviously tolerate vulgarity. And please, this is very important, subscribe to our ATG newsletters for update on our classes and links, especially for other subjects. Right, that is that. Then our objectives are as follows. By the end of this lesson, must be in a position to understand quadratic function. We did the effect of A, B, and Q yesterday, completing of the square Y-intercept method, sketching of the graph. We also covered increasing and decreasing of a function yesterday. We covered again reflection and translation. But today we'd focus on domain and range, sketching of the graph, and so on. Obviously, there will be homework than that we will do before we start what we call a hyperbolic function. Okay, but today our session is more of activity-based other than explanation, because we only have 40 minutes. So I would be answering question. If I finish before 9:40, I would allow you to ask questions. All right, let's look at this activity. Okay, this was your homework, yesterday homework. However, we didn't finish up our session yesterday. However, today we will do this one together. Okay. Then there are keynotes that we have to take note of, which are basic skills. Okay, we did that one yesterday. which are the domain, what is range, axis of symmetry, maximum, minimum, asymptotes, and everything. Then we also covered what we call transformation, where I looked at horizontal translation, vertical translation, reflection across x-axis, across y-axis, right? Then, but okay, that is where we ended yesterday. We're busy with this sum. The first question says, rewrite f of x in a form of, we said how to do that one. Obviously, you complete the square. Let's start from the scratch for this question so as you understand. Okay, let me give you the question. Let me write the equation here. Okay, here is our question, which is the first one. Okay, let me use the red one so as you see. Okay, this is our A. Here we are given, right? Here we are given, this is our A. We are given f of x, which is equal to negative 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. Then we set our first question here. What we have to do is to complete the square in order to rewrite this one in that form. Right. How to complete the square? When you are completing the square, you have to always make it a point that the coefficient of x squared is equal to 1. So in this case, is 2. Is negative 2. So what we have to do here is to take out 2 as a common factor. So if we take out 2 as a common factor, we open the bracket, then you will divide everything by negative 2. So this obviously will be x squared divided by 2. This will be positive 5 over 2 x. Divide this one by negative 2. That will be negative 3 over 2. Okay, there is a mark for this step. After that, you square the coefficient of x, right? Let's square it. This is our coefficient of x, right? Let's square it. So this will be what? This will be minus 2, but this is what you did in term 1. This is plus 5 over 2 x. Obviously, you square this one. You firstly times this one by 2, by half. So that would give you 5 over 4. Then you square it and you also subtract it, because we are saying in mathematics, you have to be in a position to move from current step to the previous step. So that's why we are subtracting this one, 5 over 4, all squared, minus what? 3 over 2. Right. Then from there, what is it that we have to do? Let me show you. We have to factorize this, right? Okay. And obviously simplify this too. Okay, let's do it. Then we said yesterday, you have to say this is minus 2. If you factorize this one, the factors for this one will be what? Will be x plus, obviously, this will be 5 over 4. Okay, you can simply use your calculator right away. Yeah. Then the answer that we got yesterday, it was negative 49 over 16. Okay. Then from there, the last step is to remove the bracket, the big bracket. Then obviously here you have invisible 1 that is here. So which means what you will do here, you would say negative 2 times positive 1. This will give you negative 2 into x plus 5 over 4 sorry, 5/4 all squared. Wow, please take note of this. There is negative that is here, this negative. So we'll say negative term negative, this would give you positive. Obviously, if you say 49 divided by 16, this will give you 49/8. 49/8. Wow, that is that. All right. Now let's look at our question B. God, this is completing the square, and you did this one during term 1. Let's look at B. B says hence, which means from A, write the what? The turning point. So what do we do there? Okay, let me remind you what we said yesterday. If you have something like this one, A into X minus P all squared plus Q. For the X value of the turning point, you take this one, what is inside the bracket, equated to 0. So which means this would be X minus P equal to 0. Please don't forget this is for the turning point. And you take Y as it is. So your Y will be Q. So obviously you have to solve for X here. So your X will be P. So which means your turning point will be P and what? And Q. Okay, that is what is very important. Now, let's take our equation here. For A, our equation is given by Y equal to minus 2 into X plus 5. Okay. This is plus 5/4 all squared plus 49/8. Okay, now the question says, hence write the turning point. Obviously, what you have to do is to equate this one to 0. Okay, so which means this would be X plus 5/4 equal to 0, which means your X will be negative 5/4. All right, but you take Y as it is, so this will be 49/8, which means our turning point here is given by negative 5/4. Okay, let me rewrite that 5 here so as it will be clear for you. Yeah, this is 5/4 is to what? Is to 49/8. Okay, wow, that's as simple as that. Right, let's go to our C now. Our C says write down the coordinate of the Y-intercept. This is what we call a dual intercept. Okay, it's a Y-intercept. So the Y-intercept, what do you do there for the Y-intercept? Okay, for the Y-intercept, what do? You let what? X be 0. Okay, which means where there is X, you put what? 0. So this would be minus 2 into, you put 0 here, squared, minus 5, you put 0, obviously plus 3. Okay. This is 3. I don't know. This is 3, yes. So you can simply use your calculator right away. If you punch this one, obviously will give you what we call 3, which means our coordinate will be given by X and 3. That is simple as that. X and 3. Right. Then let's go to D. Obviously, D is looking for what we call X-intercept. For X-intercept, what do? You let Y be what? Be 0, which means where there is Y, you put 0. This is f of x, because we said yesterday our f of x is same as y. So you say f of x here equal to what? 0. So this will be 0 equal to negative 2x squared, right? Minus 5x plus 3. So you have to factorize. Obviously, you transpose everything because your 2 is negative. So this would be positive 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 equal to 0. Then what next? You factorize. You get the factors for this one. This is your term 1 mark. Okay, the factors for 2x squared obviously would be 2x and x. The factors for 3, obviously that will give you 5. So this would be 1 and 3. The bigger product, which would be 6x, should be positive because the Mickey number that you can see that is positive. So this one should be negative. So hence you equate each factor to 0, which means your x would be equal to 1 over 2, or your x will be equal to negative 3. So that is that. All right. Then now, I believe folks are still following. Let's look at the next question. Our next question now is this one. And now saying, determine the equation of the x of symmetry. Okay. If the question says determine, okay, I can change this question to say right. Because if we are talking about the axis of symmetry, it's an x value of a turning point, and we already calculated that one. Okay, we already calculated that one. So which means for our E, you'd simply say our x is equal to negative 5 over 4. Or what you can do, you can simply use the formula. There is a formula that we normally use if you calculate the turning point for the quadratic. The formula is given by minus b all over 2a. Okay, from this equation, obviously, which is negative 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. What is our a here? Our a is minus 2, but our b is negative 5. All right, let's substitute. This will be minus, you open the bracket. Our b is negative 5 over 2. What is our a? Our a is negative 2. Close the bracket. Then what do you do here? You say negative times negative, that is positive 5 over negative 2 times 2, that would give you negative 4, which is the same as the one that we calculated, which is negative 5 over 4. So that is simple as that. Then the next question, okay, we're almost there. The next question, folks, says, hence, calculate the maximum. Why we're saying it's a maximum is because the coefficient of x squared is negative. So obviously to give you a maximum y value of a turning point. But what do we do here? This is our f. What do you do? You take this x value, because we know the x value of a turning point is now negative 5 over 4. You substitute it back into original equation. So obviously this one will be negative 2 into This is -5/4 all squared minus 5 into -5/4 plus 3. Then you can simply punch this one from your calculator. Obviously, let's try to do that one. Here is our calculator. Let's punch this one. Your answer here, obviously, Fox is 49. Sorry, it's 49/8. Okay, now what is our G? Our G says write down the coordinate of the turning point. Okay, this is a similar question, but now it's from this form. We said our turning point is -5/4 is 249, obviously, over 8. Okay, it's simple as that. Right. Then let's look at the next question. H, they are saying sketch the graph, okay, of F. Okay, let's sketch this graph. Now we have everything. So we have our X-intercept, Y-intercept, turning point. So it's very simple to sketch the graph. Okay, let's do it together. Okay, let me add another slide here. There we go. Okay, let's sketch our our graph here. Okay, the first thing that you do, you write your Cartesian plane. Okay. Cartesian plane. Okay, use your ruler here. Okay. Obviously, this is your y-axis. This is your x-axis, and it's very important to use the scale here. If you say this is 1, this would be 2. Okay. This would be 2. This would be 3. This one, -1, -2, -3. Turning point, you have something 49/8, which is 6,123,125. So you can use 2, 4, 6, and 8. Okay. This side, obviously, -2, right? -4, -6, -8. Okay, let's start with our X-intercept. The X-intercept, there is half. So half is here. It's between 1 and 2. It's between 0 and 1, yes. Right? Then another one, it's -3. Okay, we are just putting dot it. It's -3 and 0, and the other one is half and 0. What is our Y-intercept? We said our Y-intercept is 3. So 3 is here. Right. Then what next? Is our turning point. Our turning point is this one. It's -5/4. So you simply use your calculator, you change that one to be in decimal. So it will give you something like -1,25 or 1,3, but -1. So it's something -1, something. So it will be something like this. Then what is our Y? Which is our maximum? It's 6,125. So it's something above 6. So it's something around here. Right. So this is our maximum. So our shape, obviously, since our A is negative, it will be a set face like this one. So you can see that this is your turning point, obviously. So it will go down like this. But then this is our X-intercept, then it will cut here, right? There we go. This is our graph, which is function f. And we have to indicate your turning point there. Your turning point is negative 5/4, obviously, and what? Okay, let me reduce this one. And 49/8. 49, okay, just give me, this is 49/8. That is your turning point, right? Then we're done. Let's look at the last two questions. Here, what are they saying? This is J. Okay. Here they are saying, oh, no, it's not the last two, we still have I. Write down the domain and the range of F. Okay, that is very straightforward. The domain are the X values. So which means if we can extend this line here, nothing obviously can stop us. In other words, there is no asymptote, there is no turning point, which means your X can go up to negative infinity. And looking at this side, you can extend this line, which means your X obviously can go up to positive infinity, go this way if we extend this line like this. And if we extend this line, your X can go to negative infinity. So this means your domain here, your domain is X as an element of negative infinity to positive infinity. Alternatively, you can simply say X is an element of or real numbers. Okay, then what about now the range? Now the range, you can see that if you move from here going up, right? You go up like this, there is a turning point there, which is our Y, which is 49/8. So which means this one can move from negative infinity, but then cannot go to positive infinity because there is that turning point there. So this means our answer will be for the range now. Our answer for the range will be given by Y. Okay, sorry. This would be Y element of, this is not included. So it use your open bracket up to positive, or not up to positive infinity, but up to 49/8. And this is the turning point. So you use the close bracket, which means 49/8 is included. So that is when this issue of included and excluded comes in, because in infinite obviously is not included. Or alternatively, this can be Y less or equal to 49/8. All right, that's all. Then the very last question, last two questions. What are they saying here? They're saying determine the equation of K for the reflection of F in the x-axis, I mean in the y-axis and in the x-axis. Okay, J over J here. With a reflection across x-axis, and we said what is affected there, it's X. So it would be something like this. This means where there is X, we have to put a minus X. Okay, let's do that. So this will be Y equal to -2. Then where there is x, you put minus x all squared. This is -5, you put minus x plus 3. Then you simplify this. Obviously, this would be minus 2x squared. Negative and negative, this would be positive 5x plus 3. Okay. The last question. Now they are saying it's a reflection about the what? About the x-axis. Okay. So about the x-axis, what is affected? It's y. So it would be something like this, which means this will be y equal to minus into, you put your f of x, which is minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. Obviously, you remove the brackets. This would be negative times negative. Obviously, this would be positive x squared. Negative and negative, this would be positive 5x. Negative times positive 3, this would be minus 3. So that is all, folks. All right. So that is that. Now, we're now left with 9 minutes. Let's look at this question, which was your homework, of which is more the same as this one, right? So this is this question, which is from the past paper, DPE past paper, right? Then the question says here, calculate the coordinate of the turning point, X-intercept, Y-intercept, sketch the graph, determine the values of K such that f of x is equal to K, has the equal root, and the graph is shifted. Okay, but this is one the same thing. Even you can see that this is minus 2x squared plus x, is our A is still negative, right? Let's push. Okay, let's look at this question, which is 4 marks. This is question 5. Let's look at this one. Question 5. Now 5.1, they're looking for the turning point. We said our formula is given by x equal to minus b over 2a minus, what is our b there? Our b is 1. Okay. This is 2 into minus 2. You close the bracket. Obviously, this will give you what we call 1 over 4. Then what is our y? You take this value, substitute into original equation. This would be minus 2 into 1 over 4 all squared plus 1 over 4 plus 6. You simply use your calculator here. If you use your calculator, obviously this will give you 49 over 8, which means your turning point is 1 over 4 is to 49 over 8. How many marks? Okay, let me show you how to put marks here. Right? Substitution is a mark. Okay, there is another mark for this one, and another mark for substituting back this one to original, and another mark is from this one. So this question, obviously, it's 4 marks. All right. Then now they are looking for what we call X-intercept and the Y-intercept. Okay, 5.2 is asking for the Y-intercept. So for the Y-intercept, what do you do? Where there is X, you put 0. Okay, so this obviously will be 6. So which means this would be 0 and 6. This is obviously 1 mark, right, for the Y value. Okay, now 5.3, they are looking for the X-intercept. X-intercept, where there is Y, you put 0. So this would be 0 equal to negative 2x squared plus x plus 6. What do you do here? You transpose or you times by -1, but this would be positive 2x. If you check this one, be minus, and this would be minus 6 equal to 0. Then you factorize. Okay. You factorize the factors for this one, obviously, 2x. This would be x. The factors for 6, but that would give you 1. This would be 2 and 3. Obviously, the bigger product, you take the sign of the middle term, which is negative. So this would be negative. This means your x here will be negative 3/2, or your x will be what? Positive 2. However, you can write this one in the coordinate form. This would be 3/2 is to 0. And this would be 2 and 0. All right, that is simple as that. Now, let's look at the question. What are they saying now? Wow, they are saying sketch the graph. Okay. Sketching of the graph, what is important? This is 5.4, it's a shape, because our A is -2, so it will be a set face. So obviously what you do here, you start with the Cartesian plane. Just looking at your scale here, you have 1, you have 2, okay, you have -1, you have -2. The turning point is 6,125. So, but what is your y? Your y-intercept is 6. Let's say this is 2, 4. This is 6. This is your y-axis. This is your x-axis. Okay, you indicate your point here. There is x, which is 2. There is x, which is -3/2, which is something here. And you also have this one, which is your y-intercept. However, your x value of a turning point is 1/4, so it's 0, something, so it would be something around here. Then what you do, you sketch a graph. Obviously, this is your turning point. So it will go like this, and you go down like this. Okay, this is our F. And it is very important to indicate our turning point there, which is 1/4 is to 49/8. How many marks? This is 3 marks. Okay, let me show you how to allocate marks for this one. There is a mark for the shape, the mark for the intercept, and the mark for the turning point. So this says 3 marks. Wow, that is all in Ganzam. Then the very last question, not last but least. Okay. Here they are saying determine the values of k such that f of x has equal roots, right? The equal root is a y value of a turning point. So that is very straightforward. So this one obviously should be k equal to 49/8. Now the last question, they are saying the graph is shifted now 2 units and 1 unit up. Write down the final equation. The graph is shifted 2 units to the left and 1 unit up. So which means what you will do here, you say 1/4 plus 2 is 2, 49/8 plus 1. Obviously, this will be 9/4 is to 59/8. Hence, your answer will be, because this is -2, obviously this will be x minus 9/4 all squared plus 57/8. Wow, that is all, folks. Thank you so much for today's lesson. And obviously, this is our homework, you can simply take a screenshot for this one. And obviously, this is just a question. The instruction here are the questions. All right, so tomorrow I'll start by allowing you to ask questions, then we move to this one. Thank you so much. And I'm saying tomorrow we will start what we call hyperbola functions. And obviously, if you want more, you can go to Siavula link, you download the textbook for everything. For questions, I said you have to WhatsApp me on this number, which is 0826727928. Then obviously more information about us. Here are the information. So obviously you can contact us. Right. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Love you.